Okay then, there's been a lot of talk recently about who the future of the WWE is going to be. We know guys like Undertaker, Triple H, Rey Mysterio, Big Show and Kane, they're all about to step down in the next few years. They've only got about 5 to 10 years in them, like in their respective careers. So obviously we're going to have to see new fresh faces come up and take these main event spots, but who's it going to be? Obviously there's guys at WWE at the moment like Miz, Morrison, Truth, Swagger, who can step into those spots, DiBiase, Rhodes, but who's going to take their spots? Who's going to fill the roster once they've moved up to that main event level? Well, I've gone onto the FCW website. I'm going to run down the list of the guys they've got and tell you like my opinion on how I think they could do, and like just give you a little review of each guy basically. I've split it into different groups, and the first group of the guys who I think are going to make the most impacts. I've started off with Abraham Washington. I think he's going to be a really good on-screen character for the WWE in years to come. I think he's going to be like a Teddy Long sort of gimmick, where he's going to be like a GM for a very long time, whether it's going to be face, heel or whatever. I don't mean gimmick as the same characteristics as him, I mean gimmick as in the role that he plays as in GM. So I think Abraham Washington will be there for a long time. I think he'd be more like an Eric Bischoff sort of character, like an evil GM. I think he'd do really good in that role. I know he's done something like that down at FCW. Then we've got Joe Henning, Michael McGillicuddy. We've all seen him on NXT, I've seen him in FCW as well. He's an alright talent. The only problem with Michael McGillicuddy is that he's getting on in age. He's older than Randy Orton is already, so I don't think he's going to get that push to the main event at any time. I think he will be a decent mid-card wrestler for a good 10 years, but I think that's all he's got to offer, unfortunately for him. But I do think it will be the kind of guy we'd see in a few main events and a few Money in the Bank sort of opportunities where he'd be really close to the title, but I don't think he'd ever get it. I think he's sort of like a Christian. He'll be like a Christian, and he won't quite just get there. Then we've got Mason Ryan, Barry Griffiths. This guy is a future WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He's got it written all over him. He's a current FCW Heavyweight Champion, right? He's Welsh, and now I don't think WWE have ever had a Welsh wrestler on their roster, never mind a champion. If they give this guy the World Heavyweight Championship, I think he'll be the first British World Heavyweight Champion, because Sheamus is from the Republic of Ireland, so that's outside of Great Britain. So yeah, he'd be the first ever British World Heavyweight Champion, the first ever Welsh wrestler on WWE at all. So this guy could be absolutely massive for WWE in Wales, and could get him a massive following there, could make him a lot of money over there. So Mason Ryan has got a massive chance to be big in WWE. Then we've got Alex Riley. We've all seen him on NXT. He's a decent talent. I'm not too fond of him myself, but I do think that with the right push and with the right development, he could make it to that main event level, but we'll see how that goes. Then we've got Drake Brewer, who was I think his real name is Joe Doring. I know he wrestled as Joe Doring in was it New Japan or All Japan? I think it's All Japan. I remember seeing a few matches of his. He looks a lot like Heidenreich. If he can learn how to use that monster gimmick, sort of like Kane does now, then he could be the next Kane in my opinion. He could be a lot better than Heidenreich was, because Heidenreich was a bit of a flop, wasn't he really? Then we've got Bo Rotundo. He's the brother of Husky Harris. Now I remember when NXT Season 2 was starting, there was rumours floating about that they wanted Bo Rotundo to be on there, not his brother Husky, because they thought Bo was better, but they thought Bo was too young, so they thought they'd put Husky Harris on it this time. If he is better than Husky Harris, then fair enough, and I would be more than happy to see this guy succeed, because he looks alright. I've seen a few of their tag matches in FCW, didn't really impress me, but Husky Harris did make that great step up to WWE, and he did make himself a worthy competitor in my opinion. I think Bo Rotundo could do the exact same thing. Then I've got Richie Steamboat on air. Now this might be a bit of a controversial one, because I've only ever seen him wrestle once, but he was in that one match, his debut in FCW, he was really good. I think he's my age, I think he's like 22, 23, so he's still really, really young. He could really make it, and he could make it to that main event level. Obviously his dad works backstage. If he has got the same ability as his dad, then this guy is going to go really, really far, and this guy could be a future World Heavyweight Champion without a doubt. Then my last one of the main guys in SCW right now who I think could really make it really big in WWE is Brett DiBiase. Obviously Teddy's not really made it that well in WWE, but I've seen bits of Brett DiBiase. He seems better than Teddy, if I'm going to be honest. If he could emulate his father's gimmick better than Ted can, then I think Brett DiBiase can go a very long way. obviously he's young. I think he's only like 20, 21 years old. So this guy, he's got a bright future ahead of him, and I think he's going to be one of the guys to look forward to seeing on WWE TV in years to come. Next off, these are a list of guys who I think will be alright in WWE, but I don't think they'll ever make it to that main event stage ever. But I think they'll be like lifetime guys. I've got Kalen Croft and Trent Beretta. We've seen them as the Dude Busters on WWE television and in FCW. I think they're a fantastic young tag team, and these guys need to be pushed. I think they might need to turn face sooner or later because of some guys we're going to talk about soon. But these Croft and Beretta, fantastic tag team. They can get themselves over, in my opinion, and in my opinion they could be a fantastic tag team and fantastic tag team champions. The guys who are going to have to turn Beretta and Croft face are the Usos. These guys are going to be these are a fantastic heel team, but again, these are a team who could easily turn face. Obviously the Rikishi's sons, we all know that, we see them on Raw every single week. They've been treated a bit like jobbers at the moment, but I've got no problem with that because they're only rookies, they're only young, so to treat them as jobbers for now is alright, because it's sort of like the learning process kayfabe wise, isn't it? So yeah, the Usos, they could be like lifelong WWE guys as a tag team, or if they split up individually I think they could both do alright, but they've got that problem where they both look similar, so they would struggle in that sense if they were to go solo. Then we've got Xavier Woods, who was Consequences Creed in TNA. Decent look, decent worker, so I think this guy could be around for a long time, sort of like lower mid card, but you know, I think he's the kind of guy who'd always have a job in WWE because he can do a job and he is entertaining. Then we've got Husky Harris. I'm a massive fan of Husky Harris, but he doesn't have the look of a world champion, and that upsets me to say it because I'm a really big fan of his. But US title run, IC title run, I think this guy could be a fantastic worker for WWE, a fantastic employee, and can get himself over and is over with the fans, in my opinion. Then we've got Kaval, a massive favourite of the wrestling IWC community. So we all know he wrestled as Loki in TNA. He was fantastic then. I think he can be fantastic in the WWE. Now these are guys who I know a little bit about, but I don't think they're going to do too well in WWE. There's Percy Watson, we've seen him on NXT. To me, he's not that entertaining. A lot of people do like him, but for me, I don't like him, and I don't think he'll go that far in WWE. Then we've got Lucky Cannon, too vanilla for my liking. I just don't think he'll get far. Then we've got Titus O'Neil. He's got the look, and he's got sort of like, how can I explain it? In his head, he knows what to say, but he just can't get it out right. It's sort of like me. I know what I want to say, but I fumble around my words. Titus O'Neil, he just looks. See, I've done it again. Titus O'Neil, he just looks. Can't think of the word. He just fumbles his words, doesn't he? He doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. Then we've got Vance Archer, who was Lance Hoyt in TNA. I don't think he's going to be anything big in WWE. I think he'll hang around for a bit, then they'll fire him. Tyler Rex again, he's okay, but I don't think he's going to do anything spectacular in WWE. Johnny Curtis, I've seen him on FCW a few times. I don't think the guy's got what it takes, if I'm being honest. He's quite vanilla, just like Lucky Cannon. They had a few matches together as Johnny Prime, that's who Lucky Cannon was in FCW, and then Johnny Curtis, but no, I don't think he's going to go far. Eli Cottonwood, he's like the white American version of the Great Khali and Giant Gonzalez. He's big and he's awkward. That's the word I was looking for Titus O'Neil. He's just awkward when he talks. Eli Cottonwood, he's just awkward, isn't he, when he's in the ring and when he's on the mic, and mustache. What the hell was that about? You know, that promo he cut on NXT. I have a mustache because I'm a real man, and none of these guys behind me can grow a mustache. Whatever. Shut up, Eli. Get out of my face. Get out of my TV screen. Next we got Donnie Marlowe. He's the son of Haku. I don't think he's going to go far. He's part of that. He's not Samoan, but he's sort of got that Islander gimmick where we could get that Islander gimmick where he could go alright. He's got a decent attitude on him, but I don't think, unfortunately for him, that he's going to get too much of a rub or a push. Then we've got guys who I know a little bit about now. Derek Bateman is the current FCW Tag Team Champion. Apart from that, I've never seen him before, so FCW must be behind him to give him the Tag Team titles, but I don't know if he's going to make it in WWE. Then we've got Jinder Mahal. He's a Calgary guy. He's an Indian, well, of Indian descent. I've never seen him in the ring, so I can't tell you much more about him. So unfortunately, but usually Indian guys don't really get that far in the company. We've had a Tiger Ali Singh before. He just came and went not pretty quickly, but he didn't really get much to do. Yeah, Khali's made it big, but he's the exception because he's just a freak show. Then we've got Jackson Andrews. He's on the SmackDown roster. I've not really seen him, so I can't really comment on him. Big E Langston, big beefy black guy. He's got a decent look, but he can't really work, so ixnay that. Hunicoya wrestled in Mexico as Incognito. I've never seen him wrestle, so I can't comment, but I presume I've heard he's alright. Then we've got Tito Colon, Carlito and Primo's brother. He looks a lot like Primo, so they could bring him in with a tag team with Primo, but because he looks a lot like Primo, he's going to get similar uses of Primo. He'll be on Superstars, get jobbed out on Raw a few times, but that's about it. Wes Briscoe, now I think he's related to the Briscoe brothers, not the ROH Briscoe brothers, but Gerald and I can't remember the names, but basically the old school NWA Briscoe brothers, Jerry Briscoe and whatever his brother was called. Off the top of my head, I seriously can't remember it. But yeah, he's got that backing through them, so he could do alright. Then we've got Roman Lekai. He's the brother of Rosie, who was a superhero in training, Umaga's ex-tag team partner. So this guy could be alright. He could get that Islander push like the others. Maybe join a stable with Donny Marlo and the Usos and Tamina. That'd be alright. But apart from that, I don't think he's going to be a breakout star by himself. Then we've got guys I have no idea, so just run off the names. You've got Rudy Parker. He just looks bland. Leo Kruger. I recognise the face, but I can't remember why. I can't remember if he was good or not. James Bronson. Don't know who this guy is. Jacob Novak. Brodus Clay, Buck Dixon. Buck Dixon looks a lot like the Basham brothers. Then we've got Reese Ali, Devon Allen, Conrad Tanner, Bobby Dutch, Father Rackman, and Cable Jones, who looks a little bit like John Davis or Corey Chavis. Can't remember which one, but one of the Dark City Fight probably looks like them. Then we've got the women. We've got Liviana and Oksana, two Eastern European style women. I don't know if they are actually Eastern European, but that's how they booked it. I don't really know much about them. Jamie Keys, I think she's going to be the main ring announcer for WWE in the future, the next day on the Lean Gassi. She's really good looking, she's got a really good voice. This woman will be around for a long time as a ring announcer, in my opinion. Then we've got AJ Lee. She's the current queen of FCW, Queen of Florida. It was their women's champion for a long time, but now they've got an actual Divas champion. So yeah, but she's just too skinny for my liking, so I don't think she'll go that far. She's sort of like Lita, but she's okay. She just needs to put on a bit of weight, and she just looks a bit fragile. Then we've got Tamina. We've seen her obviously on Raw. She's alright. Seen her doing this rubbish with Santino. We don't really want to see that, but she probably would be a really good in-ring wrestler, but she's sort of suffering like 99 heights, where they're not letting her get in the ring. Ricky Vaughn, don't know anything about her. Naomi Knight, she's sort of like a younger version of Jacqueline. She's a black lady. She's quite good looking. She wrestles a sort of a tough style, but that might be because she's green. Then we've got Serena. We've seen her on WWE TV. Apparently she's been fired. Don't know if that's just a rumour or not, but that's what's going round at the moment. So yeah, that is the FCW roster. Let me know what you think of them down here in the box, and with that, I am out. See you later.